course, it's time for everything under the sun, a time to be born, a time to go to school, a time when you need to graduate, a time when you need to look for that dream job of yours. This is the time for Pitch Yourself Battle of the Job Seekers. And I'm excited that I have Ifeanyi, Okonkwo, and Ushie Donatus. Did I get that right, Ushie?
You didn't get it right, but
Please, can you correct me?
Ushie.
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 Ushie. Okay, like Oshie.
Exactly. There.
Okay, I
Yeah,
will go with that.
that was better.
I will go with that because in my tribe we say Oshie. So I'll Ushie Donatus. And it is good to know that Ifeanyi Okonkwo has a BSc in management from University of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and of course Ushie Donatus, Bachelor Engineering in Agricultural and Environmental Engineering from the Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi in Benue State. Ifeanyi Donatus, I want to officially welcome you to Pitch Yourself Battle of the Job Seekers this morning. It's AM here and it's PM in Nigeria. If you are ready, please can I have you say correct and I'm ready?
Correct. I'm ready.
Okay then. There are 5 questions, and those questions will be coming in from experience, skills, scenarios, questions, and of course self-introduction. But before we proceed on those 5 questions, I'm going to give the floor to Donatus. Ushie, please, in 3 minutes, can we meet you? Please tell us about yourself.
All right. Thank you once again, and thank you for having me at Job Show today. My name is Ushie Donatus Ijebu. I'm the 7th son of my father and the 5th in my family. I graduated from Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi, although now known as Joseph Sawon Taka University, Makurdi. I studied agri and environmental engineering. I've been so passionate about engineering right from when I was in secondary school. I've been award winners in different competitions in sciences, mathematics, and technology. I've done a lot in human development. I've led a group of persons based on national inclusion and entrepreneurship development. I've held a lot of leadership positions in youth forums and organizations where I've worked. Presently, I'm a private tutor, basically in sciences. I am proficient in mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and so sometimes I dabble into English language. I'm also proficient with tech. I do graphics, I do data analysis, and also I've also been able to study event management and planning. And my also interest is to know that I'm a chef. So I have a lot of skills within me. I have a lot of skills that I can give to society. So that's Mr. Donatus for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I must say that I was loving it. You know, as we are talking about that you teach maths, I was loving it as you did talked about your other skills. But I do love it more because I love food. When you said so someday, somehow you might find me in your kitchen, you know, trying to
that would be very lovely, sir.
to have a
I love that.
of your food. Okay, let me go to Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi, this is not part of the question. Can we meet you quickly? Tell us about yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. Of course, I'll be excited to tell you about myself. I am Ifeanyi Franklin Okonkwo, a graduate of management from the University of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria, with a very high level of positive energy for productivity, innovation, and creativity. My ability to think fast and just take initiative in any task I find myself many times make people refer to me as a pace setter, you know. So I'm experienced in leadership. I'm experienced in PR as public relations. I'm experienced in video editing and directing. I'm experienced in digital marketing and advertisement. I'm experienced in in social media management. I'm experienced in academic research and writing. I'm experienced in business research and writing as well, and customer relationship management. And so my ability also to adapt to the advancing technological space, as well as the emerging Web 3.0 space and technological advancement also contributed to my capability and versatility to, survive and thrive as a professional in any field I find myself. And also I graduated the best in my department from the University of Port Harcourt. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You see what I'm talking about? You guys have put me in a fix. I'm in the middle right now. I really don't know who to go with. But you know what? I'm going to go with both of you. You are exceptional, outstanding, guys. Okay, let's get to the business of today. And these are 5 questions coming in, and I'm going to start with you. Ifeanyi, I'm going to start with you quickly. It says here, how has your academic background in management? How has your academic background in management prepared you for the handling of organizational challenges? And how can you share a specific example that you've been through? Should you want me to take that again?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
How has your academic background in management prepared you for handling organizational challenges? And can you share a specific example? Your time starts now.
All right. Like I told you, I studied management, and the management who believe strongly in the power of planning, organizing, and being able to strategically deploy manpower resources and non-manpower resources to get the job done. All right. So basically, like I said, I was into management. I was into it because I loved the fact that I could work anywhere. I could adapt to any working condition with the management course. And my ability to be able to learn what I ought to learn from the university days actually played out when I had my first work experience after graduation. As I was called up for service, I was in camp. The leadership thing has always been inside, but I feel management brought it out the more. Studying management helped fine-tune my leadership ability. I don't know if you've heard about Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol is regarded as the father of modern management. All right, we learned about the 14 principles of management from Henry Fayol, and I discovered most of these principles are so easy for me to, to play with, like I play chess. So in camp, I discovered it was awesome being able to manage over 2,000 core members, sir. In camp, over 2,000 core members, and I got so kind. I found myself among the set of leaders who were actually liaising between the management of the camp and then the core members directly. So that position was created newly just before our batch was called up for service. And that position was called the CCD, that's core camp directors. So I was among the core camp directors. We were only 3. And we were faced with the challenge to manage over 2,000 people. And we were meant to accomplish a particular project on camp just before we wrap up the 3 weeks camp. 1 week was gone because we had to do a lot of preparation for swearing in. And then we're left with just 2 weeks. And I was meant to man that team that was going to achieve some of the tasks we had in camp. And we were able to, how we started was to set up teams. We had to brainstorm how we can achieve something remarkable, something that can serve as a monument for us just before we left camp. And we achieved this without motivating anybody monetarily. We did not give anybody money. And one of the principles I deployed from the Henry Fayol's principle was esprit de corps. That was actually the 14th principle of Henry Fayol. Esprit de corps talks about you motivating people, leading by motivation. And that has always been awesome with me. I play a lot with it. I don't need to give you money, you just follow. And so that was how we were able to accomplish some of those tasks in camp. And I ended up getting those names. And the enjoyable part of it is that I got my NYSC commendation letter from camp just within a space of 3 weeks. With my activeness, being able to manage the core members community within a short period of time to achieve a specific task. Oh, all right.
Thank you so much. I must confess that you took me back to the class. When you said that, really did. And another part I like is that you said you don't need to give money I will just follow you. So let me follow you. Just take me to the bank. Lead me to the bank. I'll be glad to follow you. That was a good one. Thank you so much. And I must give kudos to you for what you did in while serving your fatherland. That's a good one. Kudos to you. Let me go back to the gentleman called Ushie Donatus. Ushie Donatus, this is for you. How has your background in agricultural and environmental engineering equipped you to address sustainability challenges in today's industry? Do you want me to take that again?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, your 3 minutes starts now.
All right. So, for those that are familiar with engineering, engineering is all about predicting problems and predicting solutions to these problems. And studying engineering, agricultural engineering, most especially, has given me the ability to think about what needs solving and how to solve it. Now, I come from a family that is based about agriculture. My parents, my siblings, we all grew up in the farm. So you can understand why I love agricultural engineering very well. And most especially, I specialize in food production, food packaging, and food storage. My final year project was about producing a machine that can extract and wash out egusi from its pod. I don't know if you are familiar with the process, but if you are familiar, we appreciate the work I did in my final year. Now, away from my final year project, in today's in today in today's in me sorry now recently, what have I been able to do with my background as an agricultural environmental engineer? Well, I've been able to do a few things apart from impacting the younger ones with engineering skills. I've been able to have a club that is based about food management, that is based about machineries that can handle food, and that's also based about machineries that can store food without it being spoiled. Now, if you look at Nigeria today, we produce a lot, but we waste it. Why? Because there are no facilities enough that can store this food. But if this food can be stored and can be used later for something more reasonable, something retaining the nutrition value and all of that, then we're talking about having food all year round. But in Nigeria today, we produce food, and before you know it, once we're out of season, that's it. You can have a lot of mangoes selling during the wet season, and at the dry season, there's no mango to eat. Why? Because all is gone wasted. But I've been able to start clubs that can think about how to store these things, how to preserve them, so that we can have them all year round. Now, in my teaching field, I've taught and prepared a lot of persons for external examinations, and my record speaks for me. In my content creating and graphics work, I've learned to design a lot of logos, a lot of things for people that were requested for them. Data analysis, you can just name them. Everywhere I've touched, I've been able to do the most I can to see that whenever I'm not there, or if I'm missed if I'm not there. Let me just put it that way. So that is me.
Thank you so much. Let me ask you a question. Benue State is still
Yes.
the food basket of the nation. Am I right?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Fantastic. Because so many I wouldn't say miracles or magic are coming up in the country, so they must have probably changed it again. So food basket,
No.
yeah, I do believe
Benue is the food basket of the nation.
I do believe in that. And I like the part when you said almost every member of your family are into agriculture. That's
Yes,
very good one. You know, there are few industries that the world we finally tailored into, like IT sector, agricultural sector. You know, those sectors will never die, and agriculture is truly part of that. I do like that. Thank you so much for sharing that thought with us as well. Let me go back to the man from Port Harcourt. Ifeanyi, this is for you. In the dynamic field of management, what strategy have you learned to effectively lead and motivate a team towards achieving common goals? I'll take that again. In the dynamic field of management, what strategy have you learned to effectively lead and motivate a team towards achieving common goals? Your time starts now.
All right, thank you so much. Interestingly, this particular question tallies with an argument we had a time ago in class in management. Okay, we actually having an argument, and it was a brainstorming team. The class was divided into different teams to actually find out what is the best principle or the best pattern of leadership and management in the entire field of leadership, because we studied a lot. We had the autocratic leadership and management style, we have the democratic, we have the laissez-faire, we have the stick and carrot method, and of course we have the situational and contingency management pattern. So we're actually divided into groups. So it's a very wide argument. It's a very wide argument. Now, I've learned over time, because there is no best way fit to say to manage a team or to manage a group of people when it has to do with management. All right, so the autocratic has its own advantage and disadvantage. The democratic also have its own advantage and disadvantage. But to sum it all, we had our professor who came in to settle the whole issue. He came in and gave the analogy and gave how every one of these principles, every one of these different management style and leadership style play a role in helping us know how to actually deploy one skill or the other. And so for me, I have been able to learn how to use the situational or the contingency pattern of management. And that situational or contingency pattern of management states that you deploy a particular managerial skill according to the situation you find yourself. Because when we deal with management, majorly, we are dealing with people. And the Epicurus philosophy states that human being is a bundle of possibility. So you can never predict what a human being would do, unlike you do with AI and robots, you do with machines and the rest of them. So because in management, we work with people, because you're working with a team of people who reason, who have their own mind, they are not controlled by machine. You have to be able to give the allowance. You have to be able to give the space for the unforeseen circumstances to happen. You have to give benefit of doubt. And that is why in management, we agreed with, because this argument went beyond us. We also studied that different management fathers had this argument. They were arguing which one should be the best style of management. And we finally resolved that is a modern type of management, which is the situational and contingency style of management. That has to do with whatever the situation serves you, please apply the knowledge you know how to apply to solve that situation best. Okay, so if you have a group of people that are in conflict, you can't predict like an AI, or you can't predict like a machine and say this will be the outcome. No. You have to be able to put yourself into the situation and know exactly what to do. Thank you.
All right, you see, I want to ask you a question, on a very lighter note.
Okay.
Do you want to take me back to class with these principles you shared?
If you say that, I told you, like, one of my experiences is academic research and writing. So I'm enjoying it, honestly. I love research. I still read, and if I have my way, I would like to further,
Donatus, don't be intimidated by that. Let's.
we are not on the same field, so it's fine.
I like the part when you said the modern style of management, and I feel that you're right. Based on the personal experience I have in my place of work, where a new management came in, and this man I'm talking about brought a different dimension of management. It's real time, and I want to align myself with that position. Thank you so much. And I'm going with the man with the agricultural experience, and this is for you, Donatus. In your studies, have you had experience working on a project that requires innovation solution for agricultural and environmental issue? And what was your role in this project? I'll take that again. There are two questions. Have you had an experience working in a project that requires innovation in your agricultural and environmental background? That's one. And what was your role specific in that project? Your time starts now.
Okay. Yes, I have. And what was my role? The project was about another method of water treatment. Okay. Now we are all familiar with treating water either by chlorination or by laser or different methods. But then another method that was introduced, and we're trying to check out how it can produce a lot of water to aid agricultural production, to aid domestic use, and also to aid industrial use, was the use of wetland. I don't know if you've heard of wetland before. Now, a wetland is like a place that is deposited with water. Now, the land is in different strata. Now, this wastewater, right, water that we use in our houses, water that we use in the industries, but not really that kind of serious waste that would have chemicals that would require a lot of process to treat. You know, when you talk of water from kitchen and from your bedroom, you just have to treat the soap and all of that. So this is a bit easier to treat. So now this wetland, when the water gets there, there are some components like the grasses, the land itself, and all of that would begin to act on the impurities in this wastewater. Now, after the acting, the water begins to seep down gradually. Now, at the end of the whole process, the discharge you get is clean water. But then this clean water is not for consumption. It is either for domestic use like washing, for bathing, and then for irrigation, and if you want to use in the industry for cooling and all of that, but not for consumption. So I partook in that. Though I was involved in the design of the wetland. Now, what did I do? Now there are different designs for wetland. We have the one in which the water flows above the soil, and then there's a design for which the water flows in between the soil. So I worked on the one which water flows above the soil. So I was given the task of designing the profile. I don't know if you understand what the profile is. Now profile is like the different stages of components that you have to mount to treat the water, starting from sand, that's fine sand, to gravel, and then also to another fine sand, and then gravel. Then the pipes that are laid, the grasses that are planted on top, and other microbes that are introduced so that the water can be treated. So that was my part in the project.
Thank you so much. You see what I mean? Ifeanyi, this is an hands-on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Donatus gave us an hands-on definition. Thank you so much, Donatus. You lost me. I was looking at you like, am I still here? Well,
sorry, you're not used to our field. Sorry.
Yes, I was really lost that this is good. And the interesting part of this for me is that both of you speak very professional, and I see no reason why after a month or a few weeks from now, employers should not have a discussion with both of you in terms of consultancy or full-time employment. You guys are outstanding. I'm really impressed. Ifeanyi, this is for you. And it says, how do you see the principle of management applying to the current trends in the business world? And how would you adapt to emerging challenges? I'll take that again. How do you see the principles of management applying to the current trends in the business world of today? And how would you adapt to the emerging challenges that we do have? Your time starts now, Ifeanyi.
All right. One of the major challenges we have in the business world today is the ability to really adapt to the fast technological dynamics. Okay, so we'll face the problem of AI disrupting the workspace and making a lot of people to be laid off. And so we have less human manpower working in the business sector, especially as industries continually evolve with this modern trend of AI and the technological space generally. And so there's a principle of management I would like to just bring out so we could be able to analyze it and try to learn from it and be able to use it to solve the problems we face in the modern trends of our business world today. And back to the 14 principles of Erin Fayo. He talked about the principle of unity of direction. Unity of direction. Unity of direction has to do with branding as a whole. So the modern word to explain that old but very modern, management principle is branding. Every single organization must be able to brand and rebrand to be able to meet up with the current trends of the business world today. And so that unity of direction explains you being able to define what your market is, you being able to define the identity of your business, you being able to give vision, communicate the mission, communicate, because when you talk about branding in the larger scale, it's divided into two forms. You have the strategy part of branding, and then you have the actual design. Okay, so branding is beyond logo. That you have a company out there and is on the internet, they have the logo, is beyond that. That's just for the surface. There is a major part called the strategy aspect, which is supposed to preempt. It's supposed to come before that your logo design and the surface thing people see. And that's where that principle of management called branding come into play. So every business today, to be able to survive the trend, because things are moving so fast, technology are emerging, people are losing their job, and gone are those days, people don't even work remotely before now, but now remote jobs are the in thing. Working as a freelance is the in thing. So to be able to adapt every single individual, it goes even beyond business. You must be able to learn the principles of branding. And so I will just go through the different steps now. In strategy, that's an aspect of branding. There's what you call vision. What is your vision? So every business that must survive this time must be able to redefine and define their vision very well and believe it, and also be able to communicate it to your subordinates. You must be able to define your mission, and you must be able to define your core values, and then adapt to the technological trend. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Permit me to call you Henry Fayo agent.
Of blessed memory.
Yeah, with 14 principles of management. You got all my notes filled up already. I've been writing. Ifeanyi.
Wow.
Good job. Good job. Let's go straight to Donatus. Donatus, this is for you. Given the increasing importance of sustainability, how do you see your engineering skills contributing to the environmentally friendly practices within an organization? I'll take that again. Given the increasing importance of sustainability, how do you see your engineering skills contributing to the environmentally friendly practices within an organization? Your time starts now.
All right. Like I said before, engineering is about predicting a problem and also predicting the solution. So if there's no problem, there's no solution, and then there's no us. Now, back again to the project that I talked about. The reason why we embarked on that project was also to see that we reduce the waste the effluent coming from water treated. Now, most times this effluent become waste and also cause hazard to another form of habitat. But with the wasteland now, the effluent that would have been hazardous to another habitat becomes fertilizer or manure to those plants that are planted on the wasteland. Okay, so that is also an ability, that's also a sustainability program. Now, take for instance, I am working with an estate management firm or a construction firm, and we are asked to build an estate. Now, first, what am I supposed to do? What is my contribution? We begin with soil analysis. We go to environmental impact of that estate to those people that have been there, and also how the environment will affect those that will come to habit the estate. Now, if I'm not able to come up with possible problems and possible solutions, then I don't think that my engineering has been profitable to the people I'm working with. Now, coming again back to where I specialize, agriculture. Now, my final year project, like I said, was on a Wusi washing machine. Now, the reason why I undertook this was because I worked a lot with my parents in the farm. Now, I saw the problems of washing this egusi. Now, it might interest you to know that most times when my aging mom and sibling go to the streams, the fast streams to wash, this fermented egusi sometimes has maggots and all of those stuff that begins to pose health challenges in the long run. So I asked myself, if after studying engineering, I cannot solve a single problem, then what was the use? So that is why I embarked on making this machine. And in my simplicity, to know this machine is functional. It's just if I can get resources enough, then to put it in the market for a lot of persons that I know will need it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you got me on that point. And what I would say is that, believe me, there are thousands of people that will eventually talk to you about those ideas and see how they can collaborate with you on that idea. I like the part when you said, if you identify a problem and you cannot solve such problem, what exactly is the use of that degree? Believe me, I wish all job seekers, all graduates can think from that perspective, because the reason for graduation is not about the certification. It's about how you can solve a problem. Thank you so much, Donatus, for sharing that. Donatus, I'm still going to go back to you. I will allow Ifeanyi to rest. And this goes to you, Donatus. Can you discuss a situation during your studies where you had to troubleshoot and solve a complex engineering problem? And what did you learn from that experience? Can you discuss a situation during your studies where you had to troubleshoot and solve a complex engineering problem, and what you did learn from that experience? Donatus, that's for you.
All right. Well, there were no very much problems during my time in school, but then I think we had a problem, or not really my school, but an agric-based firm had a problem of irrigation. Now, they had a problem of irrigation because I don't know if you know about banditry in Benue State. So what they were engaged in was an issue of people using sprayers going about the farm and irrigating their product. So with the increasing rate of bandits around, they were thinking of how they could continue their irrigation without putting their workers in harm's way. So they sought for help within the school and all of that. So some of us were put on the project of defining means to see that the persons don't get to go to the product. So what did we do? Now, there are different forms of irrigation. Now, they could not afford the aerial irrigation, whereby drones will carry water and then deliver to the whole farm. So we worked on the project of connecting water to the roots of each plant. Okay, now this is called drip irrigation. So the water is just there. Now, when the water is being released from its source, it just goes directly to the plant without me or you going to the plant to spread it. To spread. So that was what I worked on.
Thank you so much. And this is an interesting part of it. I am a Nigerian, regardless of my present location, demography, and we're all familiar with what's going on in the country, and it's too sad. It's very sad that the country is heading towards that path as we speak. Quick one. Let me go back to Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi, this is for you. Can you discuss a project or initiative you led? Projects or initiative you led during your studies that require strong management skills, and what was the outcome?
Okay. Yeah, one of the projects, there are a lot of them, but I'll single this one out. Was in my 200 level. In my 200 level, I was done with school, when like I lost my dad very early, and then I was schooling based on sponsorship. So I needed to actually work out some things for myself, not solely depending on my sponsor. So I got an idea. That was the period this CBT was coming up, because I wrote JAM. I should be about the first or the second set with CBT first. here in Nigeria. So I was so good with it because naturally I can just navigate through the ICT world. And then I got the idea to be able to train others, Jambites, who could also learn from me. And I wasn't having anything, no resource. I was in 200 level. I got back home, and what I did was to go and network with a computer firm. I shared my idea with them. They normally do some computer training, but I said, this is the section I want to bring into their firm. I want to be able to train Jambites and those who want to take up that CBT exams so that they can master it just before they take up their exam, and then we'll make money from it. Trust me, from the teams, I networked with a graphic designer that produce the flyers. I network with the owner of that particular computer firm. I've actually forgotten the name of the firm, but it was there in Delta State where I live then. And within a space of 1 week, because it was a community that was not really enlightened, it was not exposed that much. That was where I was, where I grew up. And so bringing in that idea, a lot of people bought into the initiative, and we got close to about 20-something students registering. And trust me, within the space of 2 weeks, we were making nothing less than 60,000 naira as at then. That was because of the environment. We were able to just charge a lesser fee so that they can afford it. Nothing less than 60K. And as the time approaches, as we got closer to the CBT examination period, the numbers kept increasing. And one thing I realized was that I started exhibiting some of those management skills when I found out that as the numbers kept increasing, because of the facility we were using, it was not being able to accommodate all of these numbers immediately. So I had to deploy one of the principles of management taught by Ifeanyi. I had to now say, okay, in this situation, I must split these people into groups. And that was how we have sections. So we have the morning section, we had the evening section to be able to take on these students in batches, which I did share with my team. And then I supported myself as a 200 level student back then in school. Yeah, thank you. That was just one.
Thank you so much. Sorry for your loss. My condolences on your dad.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yep, and I do like the part where you both are, there's this entrepreneurial spirit, in you and in Donatus as well. And I really don't see you guys spending so much time in the employment world. What I can see right in front of me, I can see successful entrepreneurs very soon. Believe me, you guys have that entrepreneurial spirit, and the better we start looking towards that, I think the faster you start looking towards that, the better for you guys. Good job, Ifeanyi. And let me go to Donatus. Considering the intersection of technology and agriculture, how do you stay informed about the latest advancement, and how would you apply this knowledge in a professional setting? I'll take that again, Donatus. Considering the intersection of technology and agriculture, considering artificial intelligence, the advanced technology that we have in the present age, and agriculture, how do you stay informed about the latest advancement? And of course, how would you apply this knowledge in a professional setting to suit you? Your final question, and your time starts now.
Well, the beauty about agriculture is that man must eat. So no matter how AI, no matter what technology does, they must still come back to us for their daily bread. So I told someone once time that my decision to take up agricultural engineering is because I know I want to remain relevant to the kingdom come. Because no matter what happens, we must eat. Now the only thing there is that we have to blend in, not to look for who is first and who is second. We just have to blend in so that everyone wins. Now there are so many things that the advancement in technology can do for us, and there's a lot we can do for it too. Now, back to predicting problems and then solving them. Back again to the mini project I did in school on the issue of irrigation. Now, there would have been no need for aerial irrigation if there was no problem of human labor and drudgery, and also the health challenges that come with a lot of manpower on the field. Now, aerial irrigation is just like you have a drone up taking pictures and all of that. So the drone is given water, and then it takes it about and distributes to all of the farm produces. Now, sensors. Now, how do sensors work? You know that there's a lot of advancement in feeding of livestock. these days that the census dictates that it is time to feed the birds. Now, I don't know if you have gone to a poultry farm before, a very large poultry farm, and you see a lot of persons working. These persons, if they are not properly gadgeted, at the end of the day, they end up sick. But with the advancement, with the blending of technology and agriculture, you can see that your workers are safe, they are healthy, because technology does it for you. Now, the census reads that, okay, it is time to feed, or programming, let's use programming. You programmed that you are feeding your birds 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Now, once it's time, the feed flows. If it's water, it flows. If it's medicine, it flows. And then still going back to the farm again, for instance, I don't know if you know that there are automated harvesters now that are robots. Now you just have to put them in the ridge or in the field, and the whole thing is harvested. If it's rice, the hawks, you have your rice already. So technology and agriculture don't need to fight for a place in front. For me, I believe that we just have to work hand in hand to see that humanity gets the best of our services.
Thank you so much, Donatus. I most definitely, I will quote you anytime, and I like that quote. You know, no matter the innovation, man must eat. Thank you so much. That's a very that's a final statement. You know, there's always a call to eat, and when there's a call to eat, regardless of anything, you just want to eat. You know, so it makes agriculture still relevant to the end of the earth. Thank you so much for that insight. Ifeanyi, your last question. Given your educational focus, how do you envision contributing to the success of your organization, especially in terms of improving efficiency and productivity? I'll say that again. Given your educational focus, how do you envision contributing to the success of your organization, especially in terms of improving efficiency and productivity? Your time starts now.
Okay, I will answer that by just citing one of the instances, what happened in the last role in an organization where I worked as a senior client manager and also the communication executive. All right, I was faced with a lot of job roles where I needed to do customer relationship management at a point, where I had to do PRO that requires a lot of creatives and a lot of press releases, and then where I had to also even manage the social media a platform of the organization. Okay, and so I came in to see the followers of the organization on Instagram having about 900 and something followers. And so when I came in with my little, or will I say my little experience here in digital marketing and the social media space, I was able to scale up for them from over 900 and something followers to, as I'm talking to you presently, they are on 2K plus followers. 2K plus followers, but this increase actually happened within the space of 3 months or so, just by implementing some of the little, experiences on the social media space. All right. Secondly, I also contributed to their customer base management, and I discovered that it was growing incrementally as time went on. And so they currently, I think, even the turnover rate increased about, when I calculated, it was about by 40% of what they normally get, from their clients. And so my management skills, my education as a manager, will help me to be able to contribute positively and very, very fast in terms of the technological aspects where we are into right now. AI has come to stay. And of course, we know about the Web 3.0 technological advancements coming up, where you have to deal strictly with the blockchain technology, where crypto is founded upon. I mean, that's the future of the internet world today, because we have operated Web 1.0, we have operated Web 2.0, and where we are headed to is Web 3.0, where more works are going to be disrupted, where more people are going to lose their job, and we want to be able to remain in the space. We want to be able to continue doing business. So my contribution, I have not come to give the normal traditional managerial style to an organization, but I'm bringing in how we can collaborate with AI how we can efficiently leverage on the power of the dynamic technological space to be able to achieve productivity. But when we say productivity, it both has to do with, like you mentioned, efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency has to do with doing it the right way. What is it called? Effectiveness has to do with achieving the goals, achieving the targets you are setting before yourself. And so I've come to contribute to an organization, my internet, online space skills, and all that to be able to achieve goals, productivity, and efficiency. Like we lost him. I don't know what happened. It's like we lost our host.
You can't see me?
Can you hear me, sir? Oh, yeah, I wasn't seeing you. I thought we lost you.
No, you guys, both of you lost me every time, man. You keep.
Oh, I keep sorry about that.
I keep looking at you guys. What are you guys talking about? You know, that shows how really deep and prepared you guys are. I'm very excited. Believe me, I must confess. This is the 6th edition of Pitch Yourself, and with all humility and sincerity of heart, this happens to be the best, you know, of my episode. Wow. You know, kudos to you guys. You must say, I must tell you that there are soft skills, there are hard skills, but you guys have that soft skills that will make any employer to beg for your service. You know, you have communication skills, you have adaptability skills, you have critical thinking skill, listening skill. You guys have got that. And of course, you guys have what I call the time management skills. None of you actually exceeded my time. I'm very excited about that. And sincerely, believe me, you can quote me. You should have a job placement anytime from now. My question to you guys, it's not about the pitch yourself. This is an open question, and I'm going to start with Ifeanyi. This is very specific. What job are you seeking for? What salary range are you looking for? And what location of job are you looking for? Talk to me.
Okay, I'm looking out for any job that has to do with the online space, a remote or a freelance job on digital marketing, on content creation, whatever that has to do with the online space outside coding. Okay, so I would love to do that remotely and then as a freelancer.
Salary range and look. Okay.
The salary range I'm looking at between the 250 and above. Yeah, 250,000 naira here in our country and above.
Okay. Presently, where do you reside?
Okay, I reside in Lagos presently. I'm in Lagos.
So you can if you have an employer that will take you on board in Lagos, that would be fine as well.
Cool. So long as it's remote, if it's an hybrid kind of job too, is okay.
Okay, then. And of course, let me go back to the engineering man with the sense of agriculture. Talk to me, Donatus. The same question goes to you. What are you looking for? What salary range are you seeking for? And of course, what location do you desire?
Well, I love solving problems. That's why for now I'm teaching. So I love the fact that someone should be able to have confidence in what they do and know that, oh, this is just a problem. As far as a problem, then there's a solution. All right. So if not for my teaching, not for a job that will require me to teach, then it should be a job that is engineering inclined. And what engineering? Agriculture engineering inclined. That has to do with machines production, machines that will solve problems about food, machines that would solve problems in increasing the production of raw food, not just processed food, because there's a lot of processed food, and processed food, we know that most of it has damage, can damage us. Now, if not immediately, then in the near future. So food from the farm. Now, if you look at Israel, sorry, let me take it to Israel. Israel is a very small place, but the amount they produce per year can feed almost all of Europe. Why? Because they have keyed into agriculture specifically. I've been really longing to go to Israel to see if I can further my academics there, because I love what they do with agriculture. So any kind of job I'll be looking for is a job that requires me to use my engineering ability in agriculture to produce food, raw food, not processed food. And what salary range? Well, to appreciate what I've been able to do for myself in the field of engineering, 300,000 naira and above will not be too bad for a start. 20,000 naira and above will not be too bad for a start. And what manner of job? Hybrid or remote? Hybrid or remote would look good on me. And then location, presently, I'm in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. So this is where I reside.
Good job. So we have Abuja based and Lagos based. That's a good one. So I'm going to turn the baton to you guys, and I'll be sitting on the hot seat. Ifeanyi, Donatus, you have a moment to ask me a question. Ifeanyi.
All right, sir. The question I want to ask is, after now, because I really like the way you interviewed us. I've also been following you online. I've been following the job show. And also the first time I granted interview with the job show was sometime last year. Randomly, your freelance agents met me up and I was ready to pitch myself for the first time. So I like what you guys are doing. And the question I want to ask is if you have opportunity to also work with us, if I will have an opportunity to work with the job show, even if what you're doing seem not to pull through so immediately, like to get us a job or something, if it's possible for us to still be in touch, because I like what you're doing for the society as well. So I could also contribute my quota in any way remotely here in Nigeria. That's my question.
All right. Thank you so much. When a man is bold and you have something burning in you, it's always advisable that open up your mouth and say, I like that boldness and the confidence that you shared. Authoritatively, I can tell you that, yes, we'll consider taking you on board.
Thank you.
Jonathan,
I appreciate it.
Your question.
Okay, so he has asked the question of if we can be given further opportunity, regardless of the interview, to contribute to our society. Now, my question is, how or why did you start the job show?
I told you guys that there's something about both of you on today's episode. I can't figure it out, but now I can. It's beginning to make sense. You guys are deep thinkers. Truth be told, I don't know how far you've been looking for a job, but I must confess to you guys, I have never seen anybody that searched for a job like me while I was in Nigeria. Gentlemen, I searched for a job so much that I had to go to the zoo, and sit down and have a very deep retreat for 3 days. Thank you, the man from Port Harcourt. I call him
Thank you, sir.
Payo. And the agricultural man, thank you so much. I did enjoy myself. I have a conference to attend. I'll be driving like 40 minutes now as I leave you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.